Amateur Radio Repeater VE3MIS.
VE3XDH, VK6BQQ.
K6BQQ, this is VE3XPH. Hi, Reg, how are you?
Well, Brian, we're on top shelf, as they say. Back here in Jandakot, had a good trip down south, and getting things back to normal again. We got net on the go here now?
Yes, sir. I'm controller this evening, so we'll be starting in about 1 minute.
Fantastic, sir. VK6BQQ standing by.
Good evening. This is Victor Echo 3, X-Ray Bravo Hotel. My name is Brian, and I'm your controller tonight for the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club Tuesday Night Net. This net is available on the club's VHF repeater and Echo link between 20:30 hours and approximately 21:45 hours, local time in Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. It is also live streamed on YouTube, and also archives of the previous nets can be found there. To participate in the net on the VE3MIS VHF repeater, tuned to 145.430 megahertz with a negative 600 kilohertz offset and a 103.5 hertz tone. To participate on Echolink, connect to the TechLink conference, node number 9229, and to listen live on YouTube and comment, search for the club's YouTube channel and search using the search term VE3MIS YouTube. If you would like to find out more about the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club, please visit our website at www.ve3mis.ca. That's Victor Echo 3 Mike India Sierra Charlie Alpha. Our email address is ve3mis@rac.ca. That's Victor Echo 3 Mike India Sierra @Romeo Alpha Charlie Charlie Alpha. The purpose of this net is to pass news and views along to members and visitors of the club. It also promotes experience to volunteer operators in net and emergency operating procedures. All check-ins are welcome, and we especially invite non-members to join in. The Mississauga Amateur Radio Club meets virtually via Zoom conferencing software on the second and fourth Thursday of each month. Our meetings emphasize comradeship and learning and are open to guests and visitors. See our website to learn how to join virtual meetings. Non-members who wish to attend should email ve3mis@rac.ca to obtain instructions for a virtual meeting. And just the only announcement that I have is there is a general club meeting this Thursday, and it begins at 7:30 our local time, so that's 7:30 Eastern Standard. And it is a Zoom meeting. There is no meeting at the church hall. So this is a Zoom meeting this Thursday beginning at 7:30 Eastern Time. The net will be conducted in 2 rounds, a check-in and a 7-3 round. During the check-in round, check-ins may be called in 2 broad groups. Short-time check-ins and general check-ins, and emergency check-ins will be taken at any time. Sometimes mobile, RF, and Echolink check-ins may be called separately to reduce the risk of doubling. Please listen carefully and check in with the group that best matches your circumstances. Finally, avoid transmitting more than 1 minute without dropping to prevent system timeouts. Again, your controller for tonight's net is Brian. My call is Victor Echo 3 X-Ray Bravo Hotel. When checking in, please announce your call sign using phonetics, followed by your first name. And before we start, are there any short-time check-ins? That means you may be a rush and cannot check in later. Come now, please.
VE3MIS repeater.
Okay, nothing heard for short time, so we'll open it up to general check-ins. Are there any general check-ins? And we'll start off with RF check-ins first. Are there any general check-ins on RF coming out, please?
Victor Alpha 3 Kilo Delta Yankee.
Delta, Peter from Brampton.
Victor Alpha 3 Hotel Echo Sierra, Mark in Mississauga.
Victor Alpha 3 Kilo Delta Yankee, Kevin.
Victor Echo 3 Whiskey Bravo Foxtrot. Name is Barry in Mississauga. Over.
Okay, we'll hold it right there for a second. I do acknowledge VA3 KDY Kevin, VA3 HES Mark, VA3 WBF Barry, and I think there was another station in there that may have doubled with Kevin. So that other station, if you're trying to get in, can you come again, please?
Victor Echo 3 Whiskey Yankee Delta, Peter from Brampton. Victor Echo 3 Whiskey Yankee Delta.
Hey, Victor Echo 3 Whiskey Yankee Delta, got you in there, Peter. Okay, I guess what we'll do now is we'll make a call for anybody on Echolink. Anybody on Echolink who would like to check in, please come now.
Victor Alpha 3, Kilo Yankee. VK6 BQQ.
Hey, I also heard Reg, VK6BQQ and VA3KKY. Okay, we'll, at this point, we'll go to the top of the list, and I have Kevin, VA3KDY. Kevin, come on in, Kevin.
Okay, very good. Victor Alpha 3 Kilo Delta Yankee, or VA3KDY, back to you. And yeah, it's good to hear you in there. Thanks for picking me up, and I'm just stopping by to say hello.
VA3KDY, VE3XBH. Okay, Kevin, good to hear you in there, and everything good with you. Anything for the net this evening?
No, just sitting by and listening in, and yeah, it's good to be here. So good to be on the green side, Brian, if you know what I mean. So I'm just sitting here listening in, and I'll listen to you guys carry on. VA3KDY, back to net.
VA3KDY, VE3XBH. Okay, Kevin, thanks for checking in with us and for listening along. And yeah, it's always good to be on the green side, that's for sure. Kevin, thanks for checking in. We'll give you a shout on the 7-3. Okay, with that, let's go to Mark, VA3HES. Come on in, Mark.
VE3XBH, VA3HES. Good evening, Brian, and all on net. Mark here in Mississauga. Not too much to report. Just been busy with work as usual, and trying to make some more time for radio. One small correction, the club meeting this Thursday will actually be a hybrid meeting where we'll have some members at St. Thomas A. Becket Church. That's on South Common Court in Mississauga. That we'll have some in person, and we'll also be broadcasting it on Zoom, and that's the normal link that comes out for the general meetings. That's all for now, Brian. Back to you.
VA3HES, VE3XBH. Okay, Mark. Well, thanks for that information. I wasn't aware that we were also doing one at the church. So all good. So we can you can attend the meeting in person or via the Zoom link. I didn't notice as much of a squelch tail there, Mark. Did you get anything changed with it?
VA3HES returning. Yes, Brian, I actually found myself with a free afternoon last Friday. Got done a little early at work, so I made a quick trip up to the repeater to tighten the squelch and check that both the receive and transmit tone was on. and I also had to reboot a computer up there while I was at it. So I've made that change, and this coming Friday I'll be I've booked a day off of work, and I'll be spending a whole day up at the repeater. So just a quick announcement to everybody that if you try the machine during the day, you may notice that it's either off or making strange noises as I test some stuff, as we continue to figure out what the heck that strange noise we occasionally get is. And just also want to, while I have you here, Brian, acknowledge on YouTube Lawrence, VE3HQM, good evening, and I've got you checked in here. And we are live on YouTube. Just search VE3MIS. Okay, back to you, Brian.
Okay, Mark, thanks for that information. Certainly sounds like it's improved anyways, so that's all is good there. And thanks again for doing the stream. I don't have a PC available to look at it at the moment, so I couldn't take a look at it. But hello to Lawrence, and I got you down on the list also now. And thanks again, Mark. We'll give you a shout then in the 7-3 round. Okay, with that, let's go to Barry, VA3WBF. Barry, go ahead, please.
This is VE3WBF. I really don't have much for the net today. It was a gorgeous day out. Right now I'm sitting at my desk. I had a lecture. I presented a lecture this morning, and now I'm writing up my notes. So that's my activities for today. Very little radio work. I was listening in on the bands yesterday evening, and they were just noise. I couldn't see anything, so very disappointed. Anyways, this is VE3WBF. Back to the net. Over.
VE3WBF, VE3XBH. Okay, Barry. Yeah, it's been really nice weather. It's been kind of summery weather for the Thanksgiving long weekend. Seems kind of unusual, but I'll certainly take it. I much prefer the warm weather over the cold. So, but fall is a nice time with the colors, but I still like the warm weather. Fall reminds me that that nasty white stuff is coming, and that's the stuff that I really don't like. So, Barry, thanks for checking in, and I haven't done much on HF. I did do some tuning around and didn't really hear too much of anything, so but I hadn't really done an awful lot lately. Barry, we'll give you a shout on the 7-3. Thanks again for checking in. Okay, with that, let's go to VE3WYD, and I believe it was Peter. Go ahead, please, Peter.
VE3MIS.
Hello, Brian, and everyone else on net. Just spending my Tuesday evening here in Brampton. Was a long day at work today, 10 hours. So it's nice to relax and do some radio work. Back to you.
VE3WYD, VE3XBH. Okay, Peter, well, that sounds good. Thanks again for joining us and saying hello. Do you have anything else for the net?
Yes, I do. Mark suggested that I check in the YouTube and look at the live feed there, and that's really neat. I didn't check it out before, and I'm glad I did now. I think I'm going to run that every time you have the net, because it's live as you go, and it looks pretty cool on the computer. You can see the radio waves moving on the screen. It's pretty cool. I like it. Thanks a lot, Mark, and thanks for the work on the repeater for the UHF. Hoping to get on Wires X soon. Back to you.
Okay, Peter. Well, thanks for that. And yeah, that stream is really quite nice. And thanks again, Mark, for taking care of it every week. Just so that everybody knows, there are archives of the previous nets available. So if you want to listen to previous nets, you can do that. And it's also kind of a handy way to you can listen back at a later date and hear how you sound and what your signal sounds like. So it's a lot of fun. It's also a great tool. So thanks again, Mark, for that. And Peter, thanks again for checking in with us. We'll give you a shout on the 7-3 round. Okay, with that, let's go to VA3KKY, and is it Kevin?
Yep, and no, I know the difference, so I listened, and I know you do the RF first, so I listened, so no, I knew that the RF was coming, and when I heard Kevin, I didn't answer because I wasn't on the RF, so nope, I know by now. There's been a time or two where I'm just out of it, and I'm like, wait, who? But no, I knew what was up this time. So, hey, hope everyone's having a good Tuesday. Hope you got rid of all that turkey. I got rid of it a long time ago, like probably last Wednesday. No, I'm joking. But, yeah, so we're all done with that. Thanksgiving is over, and the next holiday will be whenever. I don't really know, actually. So it's turning out to be not too bad. October, we got a nice heat wave going on. For those that don't know, it's like every day so far it's been somewhere close to 27, 28. Just what the doctor ordered for August. So hope everybody enjoys October. That means it's the summer combined with October. And I heard it in the grapevine that they canceled winter this year. So right now it's just a rumor. We'll have to check it out. But I heard that it's going to be a tropical Christmas this year. So check that out, all right? Follow through on that. Get back to me about that. Anyways, I'll be listening and here for the net. Please keep me on the list. Back to you, Net Control from VA3KKY in Toronto.
VA3KKY, VE3XBH. Okay, Kevin, sounds good. Hope that rumor's true. I hope we're going to have a tropical winter. That would be kind of nice. Snow is pretty around, as far as I'm concerned anyway, snow is pretty around Christmas time, and after that I've had enough of it. So, but thanks again for checking in with us, Kevin, and we'll keep you on the list and give you a shout on the 7-3. Okay, with that, let's go to Western Australia and say hi to Reg, VK6BQQ. Reg, come on in.
Net Control from VK6BQQ. Well, good morning from West Australia. Yeah, nice day down here so far. We did our satellite net there this past weekend. That turned out pretty good. So all is good. We're back where we normally are here in Jandakot. So had a good trip and all was safe. Back to net, VK6BQQ.
VK6BQQ, VE3XBH. Well, good to hear, Reg. When I tuned in on Friday, I kind of forgot that you had been traveling, and then realized that you weren't at your QTH. So, but it all sounded good. It was good net, and good to hear that everything's good with you. I'll put a plug in for you, Reg. Reg he hosts the Friday Tech Net, followed immediately by the Flying Pig Net, and that's Friday at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, our time. Reg, do you want to say anything about the net for the Friday?
VE3XBH in the group, VK6BQQ. Well, I appreciate it, and we thank the Mississauga Club. Kudos to Mark getting that sorted out. It's quite pleasant hearing things now on RF without that long squelch tail, but he's got it sorted out. Audio looks good here on Echolink, so yeah, good job. I was just wondering whether it's interference or just what, but we can still look at that reverse burst situation on the CTCSS, but right now it's pleasant, and we thank him for that. Other than that, all good at this end. 7-3, I have got some messages from my better half, so I better get out of here. But Brian, thanks for that. And Mark, good job on the repeater. VK6BQQ Australia, good morning.
VK6BQQ VE3XBH. Okay, Reg. Well, always a pleasure to hear from you and hear what's happening in Australia. And we'll be looking forward to talking to you on Friday on the net. And take care of yourself, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again for joining us this evening. Okay, that brings us to the bottom of the list. I see a note here on Echo Link that when I mentioned the meeting, I said Eastern Standard Time, and it actually should be Eastern Daylight Time. So my apologies for that. The meeting is at 7:30 Eastern Daylight. Okay, we're at the bottom of the list, and are there any other people who would like to check into the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club Tuesday Night Net? Come now, please.
Victor Alpha 3 Alpha Zulu Alpha Brian in Mississauga.
Alpha 3 Whiskey Mike, John in Niagara.
Okay, I heard two other stations in there, VA3WM, John in Niagara, and VA3AZA, Brian. Come on in, Brian, go ahead. VA3AZA, VE3XPH. Go ahead, Brian. Okay, don't hear anything from Brian at the moment, so I'm not sure if he can hear me or not. I'll come back to you, Brian. I also did see that Gary VA3 GDZ was also trying to get in, so Gary, I'll put you on the list also. So we'll go to John, VA3WM. John, come on in.
VE3XBH in the Mississauga Net. This is John, Victor Alpha 3 Whiskey Mike in Niagara on the Lake, and kind of a nice warm day here today. Quite pleasant, and Thanksgiving was good for the family. I think I had about 3 turkey dinners, but that's just kind of how it goes when you have family. Everything was just excellent. So I hope everybody had a fine Thanksgiving, and I'll pass it back to you, Brian. VE3XBH from VA3WM.
VA3WM, VE3XBH. Okay, John, well, that sounds good. It's kind of nice to be able to get together with family again. We're still a little bit limited on what we can do, but at least hopefully we're heading in the right direction. So certainly nice to hear, John. And yeah, I'm getting a little turkeyed out myself also. We've had a couple of meals of turkey, and it's nice, but I think I've had enough for now. John, thanks for checking in, and I'll give you a shout on the 7-3. Okay, I'm going to try Brian again. VA3AZA. Gary, stand by. I got you in there. VA3AZA. Brian, do you want to give it a try again?
VE3XBH, VA3AZA. Returning, sorry, Brian, I was actually transmitting on the A4S frequency by mistake. I had the wrong band selected, so not much to report. Just a quick check-in. I think I'm a little low on power. But anyway, good to hear you. Thanks for doing the net. And I'll pass it back to you, VA3AZA, over to net control.
VA3AZA, VE3XBH. Okay, Brian, sounds good. Well, good to hear you in there, and these things happen, but that's okay. That's what it's all about, as long as we get in there and have a little bit of fun. So, Brian, thanks for checking in, and did you have anything for the net you want to talk about?
Oh, net control VH3 electric. No, that's nothing. Nothing goes through in today. Just I got some new antennas to replace my stock antennas, so I was happy with that. They came in the mail today, and I think I got a speaker for my mobile radio, so it might help me hear it a little bit better. That's my big news for today. Over to you, Brian.
Okay, Brian, all good, and good to hear you in tonight. We'll give you a shout then on the 7-3 round. Okay, we'll go to Gary, VA3GDZ. Gary, come on in.
Yeah, good evening there, Brian. I'm coming in from cottage country, about 3 hours north of Toronto. We've been here all week and have enjoyed the peak of the fall colors. I think the peak occurred about a week ago, maybe midweek last week. Been very lucky to be able to have some friends over finally who we haven't seen in about a year and a half, and that was great, and have family over as well to enjoy the Thanksgiving meal. Turkeyed out, turkey dinner, turkey soup, turkey sandwich, turkey omelet, gobble, gobble. Starting to talk like the turkey is. Anyways, it's still a lot of fun. I see the ham conferences in there. I hope somebody comes in to join us tonight, including the guys from Australia who often come in. I was talking to the east coast of Australia earlier today about Sydney coming out of lockdown, and the South Island of New Zealand. They're okay. North Island needs a bit more work, but it was interesting to chat with them. And the other chit-chat was about the solar storms that have occurred. I think it was Sunday and Monday. I think that's what John mentioned about the HF bands were all knocked out. But of course, we're all busy eating turkey, so none of us noticed. But that was a lot of the talk on the band. So all is good. I can only stay for this one round. I'll listen maybe for a few moments, but we're packing up, heading back to the big city soon, and I got some activities planned, and hopefully it'll be a lot better than a year ago this time. Thanks for running the net there, Brian. This is Victor Alpha 3, Golf Delta Zulu, Gary coming in from Halliburton on Echolink.
VA3GDZ, VE3XBH. Okay, Gary, all good, and I was just gonna, I was gonna ask you how the colors were. So I guess you managed to catch them at the peak, and that's really nice. So all good to hear there, and we're all kind of gobbled out for sure, I think. But glad that you had a good time, and it sounds like the weather held up pretty good for you. So. And you got to drive with all the nice colors, so that's good. Have a safe drive back, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again. Thanks for checking in with us tonight. Okay, with that, we're at the bottom of the list. Is there anyone else who'd like to check in to the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club Tuesday Night Net? Come now, please.
Kilo 2 Delta Yankee, Victor Kilo 2 Delta Yankee.
Robert in there, VK2DY. Robert, come on in, please.
So good afternoon. It's just straight up mid. Robert, Victor Kilo 2 Delta Yankee in Hollywood. Beautiful, but all part of the urban sprawl that is in the 15.5 degrees here. Overcast, rain on and off. Been that pattern for the last 2 days. Will be that pattern for the last 2 or 3 days to come here. But it is spring, and that's what it's supposed to do, is rain. That helps with things growing. That helps with bushfire season not being so bad. So we're taking the rain, and we're happy it's here. Lockdown ended here in New South Wales on Monday morning at 12:01 a.m. And there were people out at 12:01 a.m. Celebrating the end of it. Saw that on television. I was not one of them. But at any rate, you can all the stores are open. You can go anywhere you want to go. We're still not allowed to do regional travel, so to say in Greater Sydney. But regional travel is supposed to be probably allowed by next weekend because we'll hit 80% vaccination. Thank you so much for taking right back in. VK2 up back to you.
VK2DY, VE3XBH. Okay, Robert, sounds good. Thanks for checking in with us. How are things as far as COVID is going? We heard that they've been easing up some of the restrictions.
Amateur radio repeater VE3MIS.
Yeah, well, restrictions have always been on a statewide basis here in Australia. So New South Wales just ended a 106-day lockdown on the Monday morning. So we had 444 cases today and 4 deaths. So the numbers staying in the hundreds. They originally wanted to get that back down to 0, decided that was unrealistic, and instead we're going with vaccination rates. So 70% lockdown ended, 80% regional travel will be allowed, and a number of other things will be taken off. In December, we should have all of the restrictions gone, including being able to travel internationally. So hopefully it's all going to work. VK2DY.
VK2DY, VE3XBH. Okay, Robert, well, thanks for that info. We're just kind of curious about that, and let's hope that that just generally everybody's getting a handle on this, and we can get a little bit more back to get a little bit more travel going, and be able to ease up a little bit. Robert, thanks for checking in with us. Okay, with that, we're at the bottom of the list. Is there anyone else who'd like to check in? This is the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club Tuesday Night Net. Anybody who'd like to check in, come now, please. Okay, nothing heard. So I guess we'll begin the 7-3 round, and we'll start at the top of the list. And Kevin, VA3KDY, any last comments for the net, Kevin? Okay, looks like Kevin is gone, so we'll move down the list to Mark, VA3HES. Mark, anything else for the net?
VE3XBH, VA3HES, and net. Nothing else. 7-3 everyone, and 7-3 Brian. Thank you for hosting the net. Nice to hear everybody on both far and wide. Glad to hear people on the machine. Sometimes I listen during the day and I don't hear Soul key up, and it's nice to hear people talking on it. And Thursday night at the in-club meeting, I will be talking about some of the future plans I have for this machine. There's some new and interesting technology around repeaters and repeater controllers, and I think it's time we take a new step and try something that will benefit us all. Anyways, back to you, Brian. 7-3, everyone.
VA3HES, VE3XBH. Okay, Mark. Well, that sounds interesting. look forward to hearing about that. So we'll look forward to that on Thursday and see what's available there. So all good. And again, thank you for being our master control operator for the live video stream. It's really kind of nice. Thanks again, Mark. Okay, with that, let's go to I'll give Barry a call. VE3WBF. Barry, go ahead.
VE3AZA and the net. This is VE3WBF. Nothing more to report here. It's going to be a nice sleeping night with the windows open, so it's a nice second summer. This is VE3WBF. Back to the net. Over.
VE3WBF, VE3XBH. Okay, Barry, sounds good. And yeah, I guess the temperatures are coming back down to what they normally are at this time. So it'll be a little bit cooler sleeping. Good to hear you in there, Barry. Thanks again for joining us. Okay, with that, let's go to Peter, VE3WYD. Anything else for the net, Peter?
VE3XBH, this is VE3WYD. Yeah, I just enjoyed the net this evening. Thank you for running it. And I did want to mention I did make a simplex contact. I was mobile north of Barrie in my Jeep on the weekend, and my wife and her friends were mushroom picking, and I stayed in the car and played on the radio. I was able to make a simplex contact, probably about 40K miles. That's good for me. And I was playing with an HF antenna. I was able to pick up South Dakota loud and clear, but I couldn't make a contact with them. So still something I got to work on my end. But all is good. Thanks to you and everyone else. Have a good evening. 73.
VE3WYD, VE3XBH. Okay, Peter, sounds good. And good to do simplex. A lot of people seem to just rely on the repeaters for all their communication, but simplex can certainly be a lot of fun. Sometimes it's a bit of a challenge, but it's always kind of nice when it's a direct one-to-one. So all good, and hopefully as we progress, the band conditions will start to improve in this solar cycle. So we may be getting some better HF going on in the not too distant future. Thanks again, Peter, for joining us. Okay, with that, let's go to VA3KKY. Kevin, anything else for the net?
Hey, well, I'll tell you what. Very, let me see. Yeah, 9:09 p.m. That was fast service today. That's crazy. Oh, wow. Okay, and I was listening. I was paying attention. But anyways, I'll say 73 to everybody, and we'll catch you around the band, all right? You have a very good up-and-coming Wednesday. And those of you in Australia, you're already there. And we'll talk later. So take care, people. This is VA3KKY. Back to that.
VA3KKY, VE3XBH. Okay, Kevin, thanks for joining us this evening, and always good to hear from you. You're kind of a regular here, so we'll look forward to hearing from you again. Have yourself a good Wednesday, I guess. Okay, thanks again. And I think Reg said that he was. I still see him on there, so let's give him a try. VK6BQQ, VE3XBH. Reg, anything else for the net? Okay, I saw him on Echolink, but I do remember that he said he kind of had to run. So okay, with that, let's go to Brian, VA3AZA. Brian, anything else for the net this evening?
VE3XPH, VA3AZA, returning. Okay, Brian, no, nothing more to add for this evening. Thanks again for doing the net. Good to hear everyone. And I hope you have a good week. So we'll pass it back to you. VA3AZA, over to VE3XPH.
VA3AZA, VE3XPH. Okay, Brian, thanks for checking in with us and for doing everything, coordinating all these nets and things that you've been doing. So thanks again for that, and thanks for joining us, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again in the very near future. Okay, with that, let's go to John, VA3WM. John, anything else for the net?
XBH from VA3WM. Brian, nothing really further from me. Everybody stay healthy and take in all that nice fall air as much as you can, and stay healthy. VE3XBH from VA3WM 73.
VA3WM, VE3XBH. Okay, John, thanks for checking in with us this evening. And while I remember, John, by the way, is one of the net controllers for the Trans-Canada IRLP net, and that net is carried on this repeater. It's on Wednesdays at 11 o'clock our time. It starts out in British Columbia and moves right across to the Maritimes. John does the Ontario portion of the net, and that's usually somewhere at around 10 after 11 or so, or shortly after. So if anybody is interested and you're around, tune into this repeater and you'll be able to check into the Trans-Canada IRLP net. John, thanks again for joining us. And with that, I think Gary said he wasn't going to be around. I don't see him there. So we'll go down to Robert, VK2DY. Robert, anything else for the net?
That's it. Just with all good week, and thank you very much for running a wonderful net. 73, VK2DY.
VK2DY, VE3XBH. Okay, Robert, well, thanks for checking in with us again and giving us all the news from your area. It's always good to hear from you, and I'm sure we'll be talking again. Okay, we're at the bottom of the 7-3 list, so before we close the net off, I'm going to make one last call. Are there any last-minute check-ins for the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club Tuesday Night Net? Any last-minute check-ins? Come now, please.
Victor Kilo 6, Victor Kilo 6, Golf India Alpha, Peter, Byford, Western Australia. Good morning.
Okay, VK6, GIA, Peter. Come on in, Peter.
From VK6GIA, thank you for bringing me in, and beautiful morning here, local time 09:15, and going up to about the 80s here today. Anyhow, I've been watching the volcanic and seismic activity around the world the last 24 hours, been very, very active. There was quite a large earthquake southeast of the island of Crete in Greece, followed by many aftershocks. The earthquakes in Crete were 6.3, 6.6, 6.9, all in quick succession. I haven't heard any reports of any damage or etc., but right after that there were multiple quakes in the mainland of Greece, and of course the island of La Palma, quick break. from VK6GIA. The island of La Palma, which is located off the northwest coast of Africa. The volcano there has now been active for over 3 days, and looks like it's not easing up anytime soon. The only alarming report that's come out of there yesterday was that the island has sunk on one side and has risen on the other, which is not good news because currently there is a tsunami watch for the east coast of America, and should this island suddenly decide to go the wrong way, it could send a massive wave over that way. Let's hope not. Anyhow, that's all I got for you. Thanks to the net, VK6GIA.
VK6GIA, VE3XBH. Okay, Peter. Wow, that's kind of scary. Let's hope it doesn't go that way. And but boy, there's a lot. Seems to be a lot going on around the world lately. So, Peter, thanks again for checking in with us, and I'm sure we'll be talking to you again. Okay, I'll make one last call. Any last minute check-ins for the Mississauga Amateur Radio Club Tuesday Night Net? Come now, please. Okay, nothing heard. So I guess we'll close the net for this evening. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight. If you have any comments, thoughts, or suggestions, you can contact us via email at VE3MIS@RAC.ca. That's Victor Echo 3, Mike India Sierra, at Romeo Alpha Charlie Charlie Alpha. This is Victor Echo 3, X-Ray Bravo Hotel, closing the net and returning the repeater to general use. Thank you all for your participation. 7-3, and stay safe.
Brian, and thank you for hosting the net. This is VA3HEFs, and we're going off air on YouTube. Thanks for watching, folks.
Thanks again, Mark, and thanks for the stream. We'll talk to you again soon. 7-3, the E3XBH clear.